Just a couple of months into business studies, my friend Sebastian came up with this idea behind Klarna. He had previously worked at a finance company and in that company helping out selling debt collection services. And the companies he reached out to trying to sell this debt collection services, they told him that we're not interested in this, but if you want to take the full transaction cost, the full transaction risk in a transaction shopping online, then we're interested. And he kept thinking about this and got back to school, told me about the idea, and together with a third co-founder, Victor, and we said that let's give it a try. If we can enable people to shop online and pay after delivery, maybe that's a good business idea to try to pursue.
Turned out to be good.
Yeah, we're very lucky. So this was right when the Swedish e-commerce took off. If we would have started this 2 years earlier, there would be no e-commerce, there would be no Klarna. Let's give it a shot. We had no money, no experience of Fintech, and didn't know how to program a bank, basically, or a system to handle all the transactions. So first we went out to try to raise capital. This was in 2005. The terminology of business angel didn't exist in Sweden. So we bought the daily business magazine, Dagens Industri in Sweden, and then we tried to look up if we could find rich people, and then we tried to hunt them down with the phone. But obviously not successful. We got 20 no's. But then we were able to get into an incubator the Stockholm School of Economics organized. And in that incubator, we got free internet, we had an office space, we were able to sit next to other founders, could share some mistakes and some successes. It was very important for us from our motivation. Building Klarna in the early days, we were sitting in that incubator, reached out to a few investors, we were able to secure the first investment, but it was one superstar investor in Sweden called Hans Otterling. And I know they were a little bit unsure, did we dare to contact him or not? But we actually reached out to him and he was willing to take a meeting. And we did our absolute best to pitch him Klarna, but he declined.
And I moved back to Sweden. One of the first guys I met was Niklas.
Oh, okay. So in 2005, it's a long time.
Yeah, and then they were raising money for their company. There was 3 guys in a very small room. They have oversized suits on, and they were sitting there saying, "Oh, we're gonna send out invoices to customers who buy online." I said, maybe that's, maybe mobile is more interesting. So I went and looked at mobile companies. I said, no, one of the most stupid, investments.
Still regret it today?
Yeah, stupid, right?
And this incubator organized this Christmas mingle with other investors, with business angels. And during that mingle, we were able to do a 3-minute pitch. And that turned out to a lady called Jane Valerud decided to invest $60,000 for 10% of Klarna. That was a great success. And we quickly realized with this capital that, okay, but what do we do now? Now we have the capital. How do we build the system? Do you go and buy it off the shelf, or how does it work? And of course, you cannot buy a Fintech system off the shelf at the supermarket. So she introduced us to 5 developers that could program the system. So in exchange for them building the initial platform, they got 37% of the company. So before we even have started, half of the company we had given away. But I think without that, there would be no Klarna today. And this, I think, is one of my key takeaways, to be generous with the shares in order to get the right competence from the start. That is so crucial. Going back again, lucky with the timing, we were able to sign up e-commerce companies. They started to use our payment solutions, buy now, pay later. Started to grow internationally, expanded into Finland, Norway, Denmark, Germany, Netherlands. Almost went bankrupt in Germany. And then 7 years in, we're able to sell off our first secondary shares. And from one day to the next, I went from being heavily in debt into having $10 million on my bank account.
It's a lot of money.
And that was a lot of money. And I reached my financial target in life.